I want to ask you a question about regional security, which obviously demands a great deal of coordination and collaboration. Prime Minister Manele, in your term as foreign minister, you made outstanding contributions to the establishment of diplomatic ties in 2019. What common interests do China and Solomon Islands share in maintaining regional stability?
Solomon Islands and China embrace the Global Development Initiative, the Global Security Initiative, and the Global Civilization Initiative proposed by President Xi Jinping. Solomon Islands also supports the five principles of peaceful coexistence articulated in the June Beijing Declaration. These initiatives are global in nature, that nationally, bilaterally, and of course, multilaterally, we should work with everyone to embrace. On the Global Development Initiative, the world is impacted and still recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic in terms of conflicts, but also climate change. Global partnership is needed to put the world back on track in terms of delivering the Sustainable Development Goals and the 2030 Agenda. Solomon Islands appreciated China's game-changing high-quality infrastructure. This includes the 2023 Games infrastructure, but also our National University dormitories, the Comprehensive Health Medical Center. These has provided some cushion for us to recover from not only from the COVID-19 pandemic, but also from the November riots, civil unrest that we had in 2021. On the Global Security Initiative, we live in a fast-changing international system. It is our shared responsibility and in partnership to advocate for peaceful coexistence through the Global Security Initiative that your president has also initiated. I believe the world must adopt diplomatic solutions over conflict, cooperation over confrontation, and collaboration over unilateralism and provocation. Peace can be maintained, I believe, by adhering to our UN Charter obligations and addressing traditional and non-traditional security issues. Peaceful coexistence is critical, and Solomon Islands fully subscribe to the five principles of peaceful coexistence articulated in the June Beijing Declaration, namely respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity, mutual and non-interference in each other's internal affairs, mutual non-aggression, equality, and of course, peaceful coexistence. These principles, I believe, are the hallmarks of international relations and embedded in the UN Charter. Solomon and China will continue to work together to promote a equal and orderly multipolar world, an interconnected and interlinked world guided by international law and the UN Charter. So we will continue to work with all, including with China, in ensuring that the Pacific region remains a nuclear-free zone. We do not support militarized alliances, grouping, and military posture that targets a third country. As a country, as I've said earlier, our interest is development. In terms of security, we have domestic security challenges that we would like to address, because these are critical going forward in terms of ensuring that we have law and order in country in order for development to take place.
You talked about synergy between China and Solomon Islands, and something else that requires synergy on a larger scale is the challenge of climate change, which is probably the single most serious existential threat to the Pacific Island countries. And sustainable development remains the primary task here. During an interview with China Media Group in July, you pointed out that the 2050 strategy for the Blue Pacific continent is the roadmap for the Pacific Island nations to address these challenges. Can you shed light, Mr. Prime Minister, on how should we collectively pursue that roadmap?
2050 strategy, of course, climate change and the environment, sustainable environment, fisheries. These are key focal areas in the 2050 strategy for the Blue Pacific. Bilaterally, the Solomon Islands National University, in collaboration with China Ocean University, is working to establish a ocean research center in Solomon Islands. This will allow science to guide the development of policy in looking after our oceans and how we can sustainably manage our marine resources. China and the Pacific are already collaborating on a number of regional initiatives. For example, the China Pacific Climate Action Center in Shandong Province, the China Pacific Research Reserve Emergency Center in Guangdong Province, and also a Disaster Preparedness and Mitigation Cooperation Center established in Fiji in 2023. In terms of poverty eradication, China and the Pacific have established centers as well to empower our people. And this includes the Demonstration Center for Agriculture, established in 2023, the Junkao Technology Demonstration Center, as well as the Poverty Reduction Development Center in Fujian, established in 2022. These collaboration will improve productivity and knowledge in terms of how do we address food security, equip our people to integrate regionally and internationally for our growing populations. So our cooperation with China in that area is critical. On the fisheries sector as well, the Pacific supplies and about 60% of the global tuna caught in the Pacific waters. China is a distant water fishing nation. So our cooperation with China in that area is critical in terms of how do we move forward in terms of coming up with an intergenerational approach to fish management. Solomon Islands will be chairing the 2025 Pacific Islands Forum Leaders Meeting, and managing the regional agenda is critical for us, and we will be working closely with China and other partners in terms of our preparations for that meeting.